Uh, Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum to everybody. AI in action, it's a very interesting topic for me, being a practitioner of AI. And I have a player today with me, two very experienced people, very professional people who have a vast experience in industry with AI technologies, Mr. Jazzar and Mr. Fawzi Al-Hussaini. And in this session, we will try to get the fruit of their knowledge, and we will try to know a lot of more things which will be really helpful for us in our industrial practices. So, Mr. Samir, I would start with you. What role do data-driven logistic platforms play in attracting foreign investment and global partnership into Saudi Arabia supply chain and transport sector? I would like to have your comments on this one.
Thank you very much. First of all, as we all witnessed during the COVID period and the whiplash effect that happened in supply chain, global supply chain disruption, there was a very big gap, and the gap was growing between the demand and supply, which was, created a lot of waste of time, waste of warehouse spaces, waste of energy, waste of consumer products, and so on. All of this, back in the days, could have been avoided if AI was already in place with inventory management and demand and supply management. However, as we can see today, the supply chain in the kingdom became more robust by adopting those technologies. Those technologies, basically, they understand and they look at the history pattern of demand and supply, what is going on, when is the peak of demand happens, when is the supply required to be delivered. All of those, considering the events that you have in the kingdom, such as Hajj, such as Ramadan, such as Eid, all of those demand are taking into consideration that AI will optimize the demand from the manufacturers and ease down the supply chain without avoiding any whiplash effect. So it's a technology. It was long waited. Back in the days, we've been trying to apply RFID, which is radio frequency identification, on a warehouse and inventory management to reduce the inventory cycle, inventory bin to bin and wall to wall cycles that we used to do, to shorten the time and the waste, because the closure that you do while doing an inventory cycle, you are wasting 2-3 days. And nowadays, it's all connected as Internet of Things, which is the next generation of RFID technology, and also contributing with the inauguration of AI. All of those had contributed to a much linear supply chain, where here today in the kingdom, in the transport and logistics sector, the fundamentals of the infrastructure has been built. The fundamentals of ports, airports, rails, roads, all those fundamentals had been built, but now they are transitioning to the part where more robust and efficiency of supply chain needs to be adopted.
Right.
So you can see a lot of changes nowadays, between acquisitions between companies. Companies are closing, new companies are emerging. New services are being conducted, and old services are being, phased out. So this is what we are focusing on today, because the main point that affects supply chain is efficiency. Right. Efficiency is time and money.
Right.
It's a small word,
right,
but it's a big effect on your P&L.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, very much, Mr. Samir, for your point of view, and you have detailed some very critical area for the industry, which are very necessary for the industry to cut the cost and to perform more efficiently in the industry. My next question to Mr. Fawzi. You have a lot of experience in SAP implementation. and I would like to know something. So, with your deep experience in SAP implementation, how does SAP-enabled AI improve visibility and coordination in spare part and in industrial processes?
Okay, thank you very much. From the SAP implementation perspective, SAP enable AI fundamentally shift the spare part, the industrial logistic from reactive to control to reactive orchestrations. If we talk about visibility, currently AI embedded in SAP across SAP for HANA, EWM, IBP, and asset management, which create what we call it a single real-time view of the spare part, the vendor, the procurement process, the plant, the warehouse, even the material in transit. And instead of statistic report, AI continuously reconcile the demand signals, maintenance plan, historical failure, and live inventory. This will eliminate blind spot in the warehouse, like excess material in one location and a short of material in other location. If we talk about coordination, AI connect the function that previously or traditionally work in a silo mode, like maintenance, procurement, warehouse, and finance. For example, with a predictive maintenance, it will trigger the spare part demand automatically. SAP AI will prioritize the critical part based on the criticality of the material. And EWM will optimize the picking, staging, and transportation in the same workflow. Decisions that previously take days now can be in real time. If we talk about the decision quality, SAP now does not automate. With AI, it will recommend. It will a recommendation for decision. It will propose how to optimize your stock level, alternative material, or even substitute supplier, and even redistribution the material between the site and the storage location. The benefit that the planner now will move from the firefighting to what we call it expected-based management, which will focus only where AI will give alarm for a risk. If we see the business impact to that, it will lower the inventory carrying cost. It will higher the surface level. It will reduce the downtime, and it will fair better coordination across the areas or the plant. The most important that AI will enable the execution-based management. It will reduce the downing time. It will reduce the risk to have stock out or even disruption with a clear recommendation. AI now action, the AI action is more practical, scalable, and already transforming the supply chain logistics. If we talk about some numbers which can be achieved by AI, especially in the heavy industrial, we talk about like pipe manufacture, steel manufacture, or heavy manufacturing. We think that AI can reduce the spare parts inventory by 15 to 30%. It will improve the availability of the spare parts by 20 to 40%. it will have a major reduction in emergency BO and the cost we spend for urgent procurement. In short, ABI, the SAB AI will turn the spare part into synchronized, intelligent network rather than a set of disconnected transactions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fawzi. You have given us a very detailed processes of SAP and how deep coverage of SAP is having in these areas. So, Mr. Samir, keeping this discussion forward regarding if we want to have an AI in Saudi Arabia, definitely the capabilities we need to develop in Saudi Arabia in AI. So I am looking ahead something, what capabilities or skill will be most critical for Saudi Arabia logistic workforce as AI or SAP integrated platform and automation that is required for the mainstream? That is for you, Mr. Samir.
Okay, I'm just trying to. You repeat the question again?
What capabilities or skills will be most critical for Saudi Arabia logistic workforce as AI, SAP integrated, and mainstream workforce?
Okay. Thank you very much for this question, but it has a different views.
Right.
And some of those views I'm going to speak about from what we witnessed from the Ministry of Investment as an actual experience, an incident,
Right.
and from my career in supply chain. I graduated in supply chain back in
Right.
2005, and ever since I've been working in it. So basically, at the beginning of a project, you need PMO team to be constructing and helping and pushing, to set up the infrastructure and to have the full setup ready. Later on, you need to get the suitable caliber.
Right.
When I say suitable caliber, that doesn't mean a guy you know or somebody who you know. No, we don't look at this, but we focus on somebody who understands the financial impact on a decision getting instructed by in a company.
Right.
Okay, so for example, back in the days, I remember I was the section head of transport and logistics in one of the largest petrochemical complexes in the world, and we had an inventory member who was trying to reduce inventory to save cost.
Right.
But he stepped in an area where he started to reduce inventory level on critical items.
Right.
I started to get and ship those items on emergency basis.
Right.
Okay? So I started to waste money. So he started to save money, I started to waste money. He didn't get it. I got it. I understood that I'm bleeding money from this point.
Right.
So we went back to the management and he said, listen, you don't store those items, you waste money here.
Right.
He realized later on and he discovered that there are some other value chain and shipping events levels down the stream that you need to look at before taking a decision. This doesn't come by books or doesn't come by just a career shift. It comes by studying the value chain of supply chain, understanding the relationship between the vendor and the buyer and the supplier and the cargo owner, and understanding the shipping events where the cargo is going to move from point A to point B and how and the cost of all of this and the timing as well. Then you can understand and have a better view when you take a decision. So when it comes to supply chain, we said at the beginning, you need PMO and engineers to construct and build and so on. Once you're done, you need to get somebody from the field, who studied supply chain and logistics, because he has the commercial view of this.
Right.
Okay? When those people get into decision making, they understand where the value chain is gonna this decision is gonna either waste time or waste money. What we focus on in the Ministry of Investment is we try to keep the P&L of all the investors positive as much as we can. So we look into the value chain. We receive all the requests from the government, the bills that they want to pass, and we study it and we understand, is it going to affect any of our value chain that our investors are working on or no? And His Excellency always insists to focus on the caliber who understands not only from an experience point of view, but rather also the academic point of view, that they are from the same field. Because we understand, we can read the value chain, and we can understand when is this decision going to be taken as okay, pass, or hold on. From our experience, I'll give you how damaging it can be and how critical it can be. One of the foreign direct investors came into the kingdom. Investment size was 2 billion. They wasted 400 million of that 2 billion, okay, just on damage and detention. Because they got the wrong caliber. People might say something on the CV and on your resume, they can promise you the moon. But when it comes to reality, the decision he took, okay, was so damaging that it cost the company 400 million, which is almost 27% out of their investment.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that was, we tried arms and legs to help and support, to reduce the bleeding there. But, it's something that needs to be very critical, specifically stating this in supply chain, because the financial bleeding that you can get from your value chain and supply chain is tremendous. It can shut your company immediately. Okay, you can get in a financial bleeding situation very easy. So you need to make sure you get the right caliber. When we say right caliber, that doesn't say somebody from a specific learning area or but somebody who already have the academic background in supply chain, international global logistics, and so on, with the experience in this field, okay? So it won't help if you have somebody who has a bachelor degree or any certificate related to supply chain and worked all his life in HR. He can't take this decision to change or add or remove or amend a supply chain or value chain, which is going to be a very critical situation. As I said, and as I mentioned, the center of government is focusing on efficiency nowadays, and this is the new direction that we are focusing on. We want to increase the efficiency of the kingdom. We already got the infrastructure in place, airports, ports, rail, roads, regulatories, everything, and we keep on also fixing those regulatory. Fixing a regulatory, I'll give you an example. If we don't understand supply chain and value chain, when the Red Sea crisis happened, we lost a lot of transshipment from the western side. So factories on the western region had a spike in shipments coming from Shanghai. For example, shipments prior to the situation in the Red Sea used to cost them, each container from Shanghai to the western coast, it was 10,500 riyals. With the situation that happened in the Red Sea, we started to see spikes for a container that is moving from Shanghai to the western region factories, reached 28,500 riyals as raw materials for those factories. So they're losing their global export latency. So what we did, we reviewed the value chain. We realized that there is a regulatory that says within the value chain, we realized trucking business was between Dammam and Jeddah used to be 2,800, 3,000 riyals per truck. It spiked up to 9,000 riyals, and there was a black market. So what we did, we realized that there is a gap. A foreign direct investor cannot get in unless they fulfill three main things, which is a 10 million riyals capital for a trucking business, which is not relevant. 10 years of experience, a trucking business. And the availability in 3 different continents, which is irrelevant. And this is an obstacle for a foreign direct investor to come into the kingdom and invest in trucking business. we waived it. We, as the Minister of Investment, we went in, waived those three, and we opened the market. So what we did is liberalizing the market. We couldn't understand this value chain and look into it if we don't have this experience and we are not professional at it. Since we open it, now tracking cost from the MAM to the Western factories on the Red Sea went down to 5,100 riyals almost, which is, I mean, we're reducing the pricing going on. So this is how we have a deeper sight on the value chain.
Excellent example and very practical approach with the academic plus practical experience in the field. I think it will definitely be beneficial in the transport industry. And my next question, Mr. Samir, also talk about inventory management, Mr. Fawzi, from you, regarding how can AI inventory management help industrial manufacturers reduce overstock, minimize downtime, and improve service level?
Okay, thank you. Usually, from inventory management perspective, usually we have three competing priorities: is availability of the material, the cost of the material, and the reliability. We think with AI, it can be balanced. It will help the organization to balance between these three priorities. It will reduce, first, we think can reduce the offer stock, the stock, because AI, the benefit of AI, it continuously learn from the demand patterns, equipment usage, lead time, and the supplier performance. Instead of having what we call it minimum and max rules, it is dynamically set stocking level by location and by the spare part criticalities. That means we will have less capital tied up in a slowed down material and without increasing the risk of the organization. Second, it will minimize the downtime. AI connect inventory planning with predictive maintenance. AI will trigger the signals for the failures. But it will make sure the material available before the downtime. That means will help to minimize the downtime. It will help to eliminate emergency procurement, which we know it's very costly. Third, it will improve the service level by logistics to the organization. Because AI will prioritize the inventory based on the asset criticalities and customer impact. So it can recommend reallocate the material between the plant and suggest alternative if needed. Service level can be improved not because the inventory increase, which is costly, but because it is smarter and better positions. AI will help to enable the expectation-based management. The planner will be focused, the material planner will be focused only on the risk material, which AI will recommend that. The outcome, it will be measurable. We will have a lower working capital, higher asset availability, less production interruptions, and continuously better service performance. If we can put some measurement of AI and inventory management help, we should target to have a reduction in inventory by 15 to 30%, We should reduce the stock outage or stock shortage by 20 to 40%. We should improve AI should help us to improve the surface level by 5 to 10%, and should reduce the emergency procurement. In summary, if we talk about AI driven in inventory management, it will help to reduce the stock level without increasing the risk to the organization. It will avoid the production stoppage. It will deliver more reliable and free up more cash because we will focus only to buy the needed material. In short, AI will turn the inventory from cost center into a strategic enabler of the operation functions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fawzi. It's a very detailed and with rational approach. So we are running short some time, so I think I should open Q&A session from the audience if they want to ask some question to our esteemed speakers. So I would like from audience any question you want to ask with our esteemed speakers. Anybody?
There is somebody.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
I think they give. We'll take your question, inshallah.
Okay, my name is Ridwan. I'm from Al-Hussain Plastic. I want to ask some questions.
Can you please bring the mic?
I am Ridwan and I am from Al-Hussain Plastic. I am maintenance manager. I want to ask some questions that we are mostly talking on the finished good and supply chains. So here, when we are already supplying material to the supply chain, and it is not moving and it is overstocked. Many of the time we feel that they have the same orders in many months. Maybe this month we having less orders, but after a few months we are having the same gain in the production. This overstock is also not okay, we understand. But if based on the orders, cannot we make some overstock that after that we are making again machine stopping, again starting? These are the losses that we are including in our KPIs as well.
So your question, if you can explain.
I want to ask this overstocking, it is...
Overstripping.
Yeah.
So Mr. Samir, Mr. Fawzi.
I think with overstocking, usually the organization use the aging report. Aging report will help to reduce the overstocking. And by doing the right planning, even if you don't have AI functionalities, you should like make a matrix of which is what I talk about the cost of the material. You have to classify the material by cost, available, the lead time of procurement the material, and the criticality of the material to the organization. By doing like a small matrix, it will give an advice to the procurement department to take the right strategy to purchase the material. Because, for example, I can stock a material with lower value because it will not harm my stock value. But at the same time, if I have materials that take more lead time and it's critical to the organization, this is a priority A for me if I have to stock more from this item and link to my how much the usage of the material, how much the requirement of the material.
So, Mr. Samir, I think I would take one more question for you. The guy was asking this question.
Hello. Okay. Thank you for the interesting insights. My question about the supplier relationship management. Today we see most of the communication is going through AI. You can easily identify once you read an email, wow, this is fantastic, and it's AI. Even customer care service now, you can see more of AI agents talking to you, not just in written. From supply chain perspective, do you see a risk on supply relationship management between customers and suppliers if we go really intense into this direction, more of AI usage?
Okay. First of all, the goal of supplier relation is to have a good relationship and build a relationship, strategic relationship between you and between the organization and the vendor or supplier. This can lead to future concession agreements, can lead to direct procurement, or can lead to that the vendor himself can store those items for you and understand your demand and store those items for you at his location, which is going to save you money. So at the same time, it monitors the performance of those vendors and suppliers. If the supplier doesn't perform as per the requirements set in the agreement, then they need to have counseling meetings. So it's in AI, they can read and understand the deliveries that are coming to the warehouse and registered in the inventory under this from this supplier, okay? And from there, they can understand and monitor the performance. If the performance is getting weaker, then an automated message can be sent to the vendor or a supplier to increase or watch out for his performance, which is going to stabilize your supply chain without the interference of a supplier relation employee. So you can reduce the number of employees that you have there. You have a BI that provides you full details about your inventory, which supplier is matching out with the OSDR, the overage, shortage, damage, rejection items. You can understand his history, and you can understand all the supplies that came on time and which missed the time. So I don't see any risk in this, but I mean, it's always going to be in an automation path, which is something that you want in your supply chain: stability and efficiency. Those are the main targets, and this fits the role there as well.
I can add a small one,
Yeah.
just in short. With AI, if you are a vendor, be more careful, because now the customer are more smarter. They try to be more competitive in the market, because from customer or from the supplying side, now my advice to the purchasing team: utilize the AI. Now it's easy to have a substitute supplier. As a vendor, keep your customer, be more competitive. As a procurement side, utilize AI. You can get more substitute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samir and Mr. Fawzi. It's a really wonderful discussion with you guys. So our session time is end. Thank you very much for your presence. I would appreciate your presence over here. Let's have a
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed.